Welcome back again, everyone. This is the last of the Colt snake guns in this series. I still have a few more Colts to go, believe it or not, but we've worked our way through the snake guns, and of course the last one I saved kind of the best for last is the Python. The Python's history is well documented, and there's too much to put into a little 10-minute or so video on it. From its introduction to its development. Very sought after by collectors, of course, and in recent years with Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead carrying one 6-inch version of this gun, it's become quite a popular gun. In fact, I believe his was a Nickle gun in that program too, as this one, except for, of course, that nose heavy 6-inch. Maybe that's why he always shot at the ground. I don't know. But this Python was built in 1979. It is a nickel plated one. They were built from 1955 to 2005, a fairly long run for the snake guns. It wasn't the first snake gun, that was the little Cobra, the little aluminum Colt alloy, they called it framed Cobra. That was the first gun 5 years before this one was built, or introduced rather. Of course, everybody wishes that they would bring back the Python, but obviously it'd be impossible to build a gun of this caliber anymore. We'll take a closer look at it. This gun has had some use on it. Has the gold grips, emblems on the grips. You can see the extreme polish on the guns, mostly because of the nickel. They were, of course, the magnificent blued guns, the Colt Blue, and the stainless guns also. See, it does not have a red ramp front sight. It does have the 2-pin sight, the ventilated rib, solid underlug. Of course, the wide checkered hammer does have a safety bar. It's not actually a transfer bar, it's just a safety bar. You can see the hammer draws back when I drop it. I'm not afraid to turn this gun. It has been turned before and shot quite a bit before. It was quite dirty when I got it, in fact. There's the typical Colt's patent roll mark on it, and the extended barrel crown. This has a few scratches, a few rub marks. You might get to see my ugly face. A couple of scratches. Actually, the one line there is the side plate line. The grip styles are very interesting on these, the correct year of grips. Of course, they overlapped somewhat, and there's some discussions on those. This is the third style of grips, correct for this year. There was a smiley grip. The original ones were fully checkered. The second style was a smiley grip, they call them. It actually, the checkering curves underneath the emblem there, the medallion, and those are considered some of the prettiest grips made. And then these were a later style. I'll just flip it around and let the gun speak for itself. Again, I'm wearing gloves just so I don't have to clean it up and get my dirty fingerprints on the nickel plating on this firearm. Build has some to be the finest revolver ever made. I'd say could be one of the finest production revolvers ever made. Of course, there were many other firearms that are fairly well made, but this one had special attention to hand fitting, and that's probably the reason I would say Colt will never be able to build this firearm again. All those people are gone, or have died, or have moved on to other companies, and the ability to handcraft these firearms is just not there anymore. The degree to which the action is smoothed out is very high. These are considered to be a weak action in the fact that they can go out of time with heavy use. And that's not actually a flaw, that's just an inherent design of the gun because it is so finely tuned. If you own a high-end car that runs just a little bit better than other cars, it's going to have to be kept in tune to maintain that high end of performance. And the same is with these guns. I've seen people like Jerry Michalek complain about the trigger follow on his finger so he couldn't shoot it fast. To me, I'm not a fast shooter like that. I don't try and set world records, so it works just fine for me. The exceptionally smooth and light trigger really shines above other firearms, and there just isn't another firearm in this caliber, or by caliber I mean build quality. Of course, 357 Magnum, very popular caliber. There was a 38 special only edition of these. In fact, I have an opportunity to purchase one. That's just if I want to spend the money. There were only about less than 3,500 of them made with the 8-inch barrel in 38 special with the target grips on them. There's a blued version one that's available, and I haven't purchased it yet, but I'm considering it. But the expenditure is quite great, as it is on any Python, let alone a rare variant of the Python. And this is the last of the snake guns. There's a couple I don't have. Of course, the Viper, again, is an excessively expensive firearm because it was made for only, I believe, 1 year. It was another 357 Magnum firearm, just got outshadowed. There were already too many 357 Magnums in Colt's lineup, such as the King Cobra and the Python. It just got pushed out of the way, the Viper did. And then there was the Boa, which was a limited edition, sold in sets. Very expensive now, of course. There were some sets of Pythons made. I know of a set that was made for a bank, and I know of an unfired set of those where it's a matched set of 2 Pythons in a case, and I have an opportunity to purchase those also. But again, the expenditure is extreme on some of those limited edition type guns, let alone buying two matched guns in a case. If I had my heart's desire, of course I would. Colts are my favorite firearm, and I do really like the Python, even though the King Cobra, Anaconda, some of those guns are much easier to go fire. Their value isn't as high, and I don't have to worry about getting fingerprints on them. So there we have it. Nice view of a nickel-plated 4-inch Colt Python 357 Magnum. Thanks for watching.